about to record a video, Zuki. In fact, you know what's crazy? I'm actually about to pull a you, right? Watch this. Watch this. So, this is a little different. Or maybe not. Who knows? My cat normally just stands at this door, right? And then makes her grand entrance by doing that real quick, right? Fiddled around, let herself be known. Wow. So that's how it's like to do that from that perspective, huh? That's so fire. Anywho, we are here. We are back like we never left because we never did. It's impossible, right? We are always here. We are everything. We are everywhere, right? And essentially, this is the topic of today's video. You know, everything is consciousness, essentially. It's fire. You may notice that my voice sounds a little more sexy because we did some new investment. We got ourselves a mic, right? Good gracious, it can capture all the vibrations into which I am transmitting using language as the middleman to capture what this energy is trying to say in its unique manner. That's quite fire to like reverberate it like that, to interpretate like that, to alchemize. There's so many ways to say it, isn't it? That is the beauty of language. It's a beauty and it's also a downfall because to get very particular on what consciousness wants to really say, we have to say so much. But then oftentimes, you can only say so little as well and still create the grand gesture that you're trying to create or get across, right? But consciousness is everything. What do I mean, Kenzie? Well, Kenzie is trying to say that essentially everything that we interact with is consciousness. It is essentially ourself. Remember, consciousness is another word to say God. It's another way to say source. It's another word to say energy, right? Language uses so many terms to try to explain the infinite nature of our true being, which is very hard to capture, but also it can be done in such a poetic way. Hence the using or the usage of metaphors and similes and stories and dramas, film, comedy, so many platform, art, music, right, to express our infinite nature. Hence the reason of to why we even created this to begin with, as it is quite both finite and infinite. I mean, those who comprehend will comprehend what is being said, for these videos are only meant for a particular type of consciousness that understands exactly who they are. For you are everything and nothing all at once. And so when you try to comprise it, it's quite difficult to grasp, hence me using two terms, everything and nothing. Nothing as in boundless. Everything as in it's kind of hard for the mind to conceptualize exactly what you are or try to pinpoint it. So therefore, everything. You know, I once said that to a person. They were looking into my eyes, flabbergasted, trying to figure out and also catch themselves, because again, it is themselves that they're analyzing and looking at, which appear in the image that I am, right? And set the question, who are you? And of course, in a poetic but also very straight manner way, because I tend to speak in poetic terms, I am everything and nothing. So are you. I am. It's the very first things that I use, right, to describe what we're really talking about here. So of course we're talking about the I am. Also another word for consciousness, right? And it is in everything. It's quite fascinating. And so this is a conversation with self, isn't it? We're talking to ourselves. We're playing with ourselves. We're analyzing ourselves. We're observing ourselves. We are loving ourselves. We tend to say it. I love you. I you are very much the both same thing. So we're saying, I love me, right? It's quite fascinating. When you slow down and like have a chance to think about it and look at it, you're loving yourself, right? This is why they say self-care, self-love is quite mighty important. And when that shit hits you, oh my goodness, you see the world entirely different. You see it entirely different because how can you hate yourself? That appears through another being of consciousness in the form of a human being, whether the gender be a male or a female, right? It is still yourself that you're looking at. So how could you hate yourself? Even if that version of yourself doesn't know that what I just elaborate is so, it doesn't quite matter whether they do or they don't, because eventually you will all know it, right? This hard truth would eventually be known through all versions of ourselves. The animals know it already. Our subconscious self knows it already, right? It's the conscious that tries to cut itself off from source, right? Dismantle itself. Hence the campaign of which I preach, which is to remember yourself, to reattach yourself to who you are, to your being, to your sovereign self, right? Because consciousness tends to want to believe that it knows everything in a very finite, confined box. I mean, our brain is kind of confined into the skull, isn't it? It's quite fascinating. And the brain is vast intelligence, vast knowledge, but it's still very much confined into the skull. What a conundrum, what a paradox. That is just mind-blowing, isn't it? Yeah, it's fire. That's so fire. Like, how could you not like and love this creation that we have here, that we just put ourselves inside of? To love, to hate, to be depressed, to express, right? We are stupidly infinite that we had to split ourselves up. And in order to like experience this way, we had to create this system here. And during watching the movie of Lucy, a little sidetrack here, I was watching the movie Lucy. I love it. It's quite fascinating because it's telling of the timeline of what consciousness could potentially be on or heading towards. Both is right, both is wrong. Whatever you kind of side with is up to you, of course. I advise you to watch Lucy. Very thrilling, mind-blowing movie. Mind-blowing because it's just spectacular. And it gives you a bit of a dopamine on the potentialness of yourself, right? But anywho, in the movie, they said this one thing. Piers Morgan, I believe, the being is called. He was like, time is unity, right? And in order to experience the infinite, it has to be confined into this mechanism that we call time. And time is essentially a sequence from A to B. And it just continue to keep going on and on and on in a particular sequence. So in order to experience the infinite, it has to be experienced in a sequential manner, hence time, right? And essentially that means it's going to go on forever, 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 but only in the confine of time. But when you're outside of time, it works differently. It becomes accessible in the now, because essentially everything is happening now. Everything is here now. That's what that means, right? And when you put yourself into the now, you're no longer thinking. We've already discussed this in previous videos. You're no longer thinking. You are just simply experiencing. You are just simply being. B-E-I-N-G. You're being. You're here. You're present. All of your attentions and your awareness is at here right now, as I am currently now speaking into this camera, right? And I'm simply just flowing. There is no thinking. We're just talking. Oh, hello. Of course, right on time. Wait, are you copying me now? Is it possible? But yeah, time is unity. Time is what enables us to experience our infinite nature simultaneously, because everything is happening now. It's trillions and billions of us, whether it be here on Earth, whether it be in other multi-dimensions. It is all happening now. Everything is happening now, right now. And with the mechanism of time, it enables us to experience it in a manner that is not so easily seen. But of course, when you have a chance to sit, pause, break your routine, and just observe and just vibe, right? I'm vibing, vibrating, right? Vibrating is energy, is moving, and you're essentially giving yourself a break to observe. And during that observation, you have access to all, right? You are all knowing. You know it all already. Of course. Yeah. Why would they tell you otherwise? They as in yourself, another version of yourself, of course. They're not like us. Us, they. It's all us still at the end of the day, isn't it? It's quite fascinating. So it gets, you know what I'm saying? Like it's so easy to get entangled and caught up into the reality and creation that we made and play these characters. But once you like put the character aside or put the character on the shelf, you get to take it off, undress yourself, right? You get to undress the character and be and marvel at everything that you've created yourself, right? Consciousness is everything. Everything is consciousness. It is not separated from you. It is you. You command it, right? Any experience you want to experience, you can do it. Of course, different versions of yourself teaches different techniques, from visualization boards, affirmations, to just giving it to yourself using your imagination. So many techniques that we have created for ourselves. My favorite technique, of course, is the ability to use my imagination and be there now, right? I don't care what reality presents to me. It's irrelevant. I can embrace that feeling now, and eventually, of course, the quantum mechanics of things will trickle down from the imagination into the reality, for the brain has no difference and knows no difference. It is invoking the same emotions, right? Ah, man, neural knowledge. Hey, shout out to that version of self. Fire, amazing, right? I bought his book, Outsmarting Reality. Fire, fire. I bought it for another person. Fire. I lent my book out to another person to read it. Fire. You know what I'm saying? The concepts and ideas that are spoken, we already know them, right? Intimately within ourselves, within the subconscious that never cut itself off, right? And so we know the interworkings of our creation. We just be too busy inside of it. And quite frankly, there is nothing wrong with it whatsoever. The idea is to experience. It is just to be. There is never no wrong, nor there is any right. It is simply what you define it as. It is simply what you give it meaning towards. That is your creation, to give meaning to something that is meaningless, right? Something happens, you have the option to, okay, that happened because I'm that and this and that is about to happen. And guess what? It does happen, right? Or that happened because it just is. It is what it is. We say it all the time. All right. I just want to get your attention. Yes. Because I see you over there scoping things out. Hey, stay away from my chair, please. Don't go over there. Right. I'm talking to myself in the form of a cat once again. Hey, hey. Cat, self, me, relax. But it's also experiencing its own experience as I experience my own experience, and we conjointly share it together in this confined space of time, right? It's fascinating. It's fascinating. You know, that's why I like science fiction. Science fiction grasps reality in a way that enables our brain to have fun with it, right? Because again, the only truth exists is the one that you tell your subconscious self. That is the only truth. So when you ask me something, I'm going to say, well, if that's what you believe, then it is so. You are the creator of your reality, of your universe, of your matrix. I won't tell you otherwise. But if you're asking for sound advice, I would provide advice. The advice matters, but also doesn't. You see what I'm saying? The art of neutrality is the ability to remain neutral. No matter what happens, no matter what reality presents to you, Your intimate ability is to be neutral, and to be neutral is profound because at the grand scheme of things, God doesn't pick any sides. You don't pick any sides at all. You just simply experience it all, right? The sun, once again, it shines its light on everything. The moon comes out and does what it does on everything because everything is itself. The micro into the macro, the macro into the micro. It's a fascinating creation, so please live it up. Enjoy, relax, unwind, or confine yourself into the stresses and the mechanisms that you create for yourself. The cage, the jungle, the survival, right? The thrill of the chase. It's really up to you how you ever want to create it. This is your story, right? It is your story. We often just want to enable one to do it better, right? Or what we believe that is better because it's been working for me, so I hope it will work for you. So therefore we try to sell it in a form of influencing or influencer, right? I influence you to live a better life for yourself due to the messages that I'm bringing because it worked for me. But I'm also trying to look at it from a God conscious view, right? There are particular principles that will apply to everybody. You have a body, you breathe, right? The very breath that you breathe is the very energy that you are. So this is very, you know what I'm saying, foundational truth that applies to everything, every single thing, you know what I'm saying? And then from there, you can go ahead and create different sectors and divisions, hence religion, occultism, Hinduisms, and all the isms there is because they divert from the one energy because there is infinite ways to look at everything because everything is, you guessed it, consciousness. We're flowing, we're flowing, we're flowing. But yeah, I think that's exactly what I just came on here to deliver. I'm not really thinking at all, right? So, yeah. And I also want to test out this mic, but I think the mic is about to be testing me out because, oh, the ASMR. I'm going to have fun just listening back to this because I tend to listen to all my messages. You know what I'm saying? So moving forward, I'm about to be crispy like this. I'm about to get my berry white on. You know what I'm saying? La cose, les amis. Nigga la parle, oui? All right, we up out of here. We up out of here. Peace to you guys. Oh, look, y'all about to capture this ASMR as I walk behind the camera and pause and turn it off because why the fuck not? You see what I'm saying? Cha. You said cha. This man wildin', bro.